We have some scouts here tonight, and I've asked them to help us with the Pledge of Allegiance. So come on up, stand right here. There's the flag. Okay. You, sir, right here. You start. You just say aye, and we'll all follow you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Great, guys. Thank you very much. Good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight. As I said, this is a regular meeting of the Board of Trustees of the Village of Wilmette. We'll call the matters in the order in which they appear on the printed agenda. There are copies of the agenda on the table by the door, so you may want to have a copy so you can follow along to see when your matter will be called. If you plan to address us tonight, we ask that you please come up to the podium. Please speak into the microphone and tell us who you are and where you live, as that may be relevant to the matter at hand. We ask that you speak clearly into the microphone so that we can hear you, and because everything you say and everything we say is being recorded. From those recordings, minutes of the meeting are prepared. These minutes are available both in hard copy at Village Hall and online on our website at wilmette.com. Also, our Village Board meetings are televised on local access channel 6 and on the internet. If you look up, you can actually see the cameras in the corners of the room. By televising our meetings, we make it easy for our neighbors in the community to follow the proceedings of the Village Board, to see the types of matters that come before us, the questions that we ask, and the policies we create. You can find archive videos of Village Board and other local government meetings at wilmette.com. And I'd like to personally thank all the residents of Wilmette who regularly tune into Channel 6 and follow the workings of their local government. Now, before each meeting, the board receives a packet of agenda materials, and these materials are also posted on wilmette.com on the Friday before our meeting, so that residents and other interested parties can receive and review the very same materials that the trustees receive. This week's packet contained 241 pages, and we've had an opportunity to review all that information. So if you do plan to address us on a matter tonight, we ask that you tell us the most relevant, most material, most important points from your point of view. Finally, we are a community of neighbors, and as such, we want our meetings to be as civil and courteous as possible. So as a courtesy to those around you, please take this time to turn off your cell phones and other devices. And while we're turning off our phones, would the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Wolf?
Here.
Trustee Sullivan?
Here.
Trustee Plunkett?
Here.
Trustee Dodd?
Here.
Trustee Kurzman? Trustee Leonard?
Here.
President Belinsky?
Here. So that's 6 of 7. That is a quorum. We can transact business tonight. We'll move on to item 2, which is public comment. During public comment, we ask if there's any member of the audience who would like to address the board on an item which is not on the agenda. Members of the audience may address the board on matters which are on the agenda when that actual matter is called. So is there any member of the audience who would like to address the board on a matter which is not on the agenda tonight? May I see a show of hands? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to item 3, which is the consent agenda. As described on the printed agenda, items which are routine business that are not normally debated by the Village Board are placed on the consent agenda. All items that begin with the number 3 are on the consent agenda, and tonight that means if you look at page 1, it starts with item 3.1. It's all of the items on page 2, and then the first 4 items on page 3, ending with item 3.15. Items on the consent agenda are up for approval tonight, and if an item is not removed by a member of the audience and is not removed by one of the trustees, it will be approved and it will not be discussed. So I'll begin by asking, is there any member of the audience who would like to remove an item from the consent agenda? May I see a show of hands? Okay, I will ask if there are any items that any of the trustees would like to remove from the consent agenda. Okay, hearing none, may I have a motion to adopt the consent agenda?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Would the clerk please call the roll on the motion to adopt the consent agenda?
Trustee Wolf?
Aye.
Trustee Sullivan?
Aye.
Trustee Plunkett?
Aye.
Trustee Dodd?
Aye.
Trustee Leonard?
Aye.
President Belinsky?
Aye. So the motion carries. The consent agenda has been adopted. If you are here for an item on the consent agenda, it's been approved. And I will clarify for people who are here tonight, again, all of the items beginning with a 3 have been approved, and that includes land use item 3.5, land use item 3.6, and land use item 3.7. So if you're here for one of those items, it was just approved. There'll be no further discussion of those items or any of the other items on the consent agenda. So you're free to leave. Of course, more than welcome to stay. And actually, it won't take long here, so you may as well stay for the end of the meeting. Everyone, when you leave, it's early. Please stop by one of our downtown restaurants before you head home. Next item on the agenda is item 4, report of officers, and we will start with our Assistant Village Manager, Mr. Brayman, who is sitting in for our Village Manager tonight.
No report, Mr. President.
Next report is from our Corporation Counsel, Mr. Stein.
No report, Mr. Mayor.
Next item on the agenda is item 5, which is the report of the Liquor Control Commissioner. There's no report tonight, so we'll move on to item 6, which are standing committee reports. First up, as always, is Land Use Committee with Trustee Leonard.
All items on consent agenda.
Next is Finance Committee, Trustee Sullivan.
We had one item that was approved on consent.
Municipal Services, Trustee Wolf.
All items covered on consent.
The Public Safety Committee had one item which was approved on consent. Judiciary Committee, did I skip Administration? Yeah, I'm sorry. Administration Committee, Trustee Dodd.
All items covered on consent.
Judiciary Committee, Trustee Plunkett.
All items on consent.
Okay, and there are no reports from our special committees. Item 7 is new business. There's no additional new business to discuss. Item 8, pending matters referred to standing committees. There's no actions to take there. So we'll move on to item 9, which is adjournment. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? We stand adjourned.
Total info. Weather.